Hello, Milky friends. It is Milkstore here with you for another Idle Heroes video. This is a very special video. This is my Insider Series video. So these videos that I'm doing now are going to be released to the people who follow me on Discord first. And then maybe sometime a couple of months later, I'll decide to release these videos publicly. So this video, for the record, I'm making on the 2nd of August. I'll probably release this video in September, maybe October if I decide to. But I'm trying to do these things because there are strategies here that I don't want everyone to know about. And selfishly, I just want the people that actually bother to show up and take this game seriously to enjoy those strategies for a while before we let everyone know about them, and then they technically no longer become strategies because, well, they know about it. So in this first video, we're just going to talk about frames and specifically what to focus on, because obviously there's a couple of ways to get frames now, right? So you can obviously get it in the interdimensional arena, and that's always been a known, and everyone's been trying to gun for Maverick just to get that special frame, or even place someone in interdimensional arena to get the frame. And then there was obviously last Black Friday, there was a very expensive $640 frame, which yours truly got. I didn't pay retail. This is when everyone could still do the special currency trick, and I actually got it for half that price, or a lot less than half that price. So I'm one of the few that did not pay 640 American dollars for the sexy Black Friday frame. So that's the other reason I don't want to make these videos too public. It's because if the developers watch it, they'll close any loophole that I actually highlight, which is exactly what I don't want. So there's the Black Friday frame, and then obviously with the new Guild War, you can get frames from that as well. And so with the new Guild War, which, well, if we get into it, you get frames depending on what tier you come. And unlike Interdimensional Arena, there's really not much you can do about Guild War. It's a function of the guild that you end up being in. You don't really have a choice like Interdimensional Arena, where Interdimensional Arena is no longer about how much power you have in the game. It's literally about having 1,500 to 1,000 tickets and then picking the right fights to get into the Maverick, right? Here with Guild War, you have very little control over it because you need to be in the right guild in the first place, right? So if you're in the powerful guild or a smart guild and very active guild, you're probably going to get Royal Amethyst, which is great, and you're going to get this frame, right? For everyone else, for every lesser person, you're just going to get these other frames, which the reality is these other frames are kind of junky, and you're probably going to feed them into either an Overseer or a Maverick frame, or a Royal Amethyst frame when you get it. So the key thing to keep in mind is, look, you probably do need a frame just to stay somewhat competitive. So that's the first thing. The second thing to note is you only need one frame, right? So when you do Interdimensional Arena, you only need to get that Maverick frame once and then just keep upgrading it with a bunch of Overseer frames and frames you get from Guild War. You don't need you don't need a Maverick frame to upgrade a Maverick frame, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You need the base frame first, and then you throw all your shit onto top of that. It's like artifacts. You need that actual 6-star, well, yes, it's like artifacts. I was thinking of armor. It's like artifacts. You need the base artifact to begin with, right? So you need a 6-star, well, just a normal, for example, Rui. If you're going, well, where are they? Where are my stuff? It's like artifacts, right? You need this base artifact in the first place before you can upgrade it. Same with frames. Once you get the frame, doesn't matter what frames you throw at it to upgrade it, doesn't actually matter. So the hard part is actually just getting that one single frame, right? So in Interdimensional Arena, if you're going for the Maverick frame, it's literally setting up 1,000 tickets or 1,500 tickets, I think is about, somewhere between the two, depending on the power of your team, and just getting that frame once, like finishing Maverick once. Similarly with Guild War, if you're in a fortunate position to be like us, where we have a collection of whales that are willing to look after other people, then you can get that frame for everyone else, right? So what we're doing in Guild War, because we have 2 Megalodon guilds and we're affiliated, we're basically brother and sister. We've stacked all our strong players into one guild just to win Royal Amethyst, and then every single season we're going to cycle through a bunch of weak players so they can all get that really good frame as well, right? That's what we're doing as a courtesy, because we feel like it's the right thing to do, especially now that, you know, the competition between within servers is gone. Like, I'm not challenging other guilds in this server anymore. Yeah, I think it's important that they're still around because Trial of the Champions, no, Crystal Crown League is still kind of mildly competitive. If we didn't have this guy, like, it'd just be literally us fighting each other, and we're not allowed to fight each other. Like, it's the unspoken rule. So I think it's only a matter of time until they start merging Crystal Crown Leagues, because if you look at it, you know, Interdimensional Arena, Trial of the Champions, only a matter of time before this they chop down the server divisions and it becomes like multi-server, like Trial of the Champions is. It's a very easy thing to do from a programming perspective. If they've conquered it for Trial of the Champions, they can conquer it for Crystal Crown League, and I think that's where it's headed. So the affiliations that you have on servers with your guild, that's going to go away very quickly once servers merge. That's my only thoughts. But let's get into the math in terms of frames, right? So I got asked the question, well, tell me about frames. So frames, the key thing to keep in mind is that it's about asymmetric advantage. And I talk a lot about asymmetric advantage, and I've covered it in other videos. So I'm not going to really talk about asymmetric advantage in detail again. It's basically asymmetric advantage is just a fancy word for saying net advantage. What advantage do you have over someone else? So when you look at frames, and I'm going to compare 6 frames here. So this Overseer frame, the Maverick frame, the Champion frame that you get from being number in the top 8 in IDA, which none of us will ever be. The Black Friday frame, which none of us will ever get because it was $640, and they might offer it again this Black Friday. If they do, great. Hope it's exactly the same one because I paid half price for it. And then there's the Guild War frames, the Azure Sapphire frame, and then the Royal Amethyst frames. When you're looking at all these frames, you're asking yourself, well, which one should I get? The key thing to note is you're not looking at the actual stats. The challenging thing to do, the reason why it's hard to compare these frames, it's because they're throwing all these numbers at you. Whereas the real numbers that you actually want to see is the net advantage number, meaning everyone's going to get one of these frames. So if everyone gets these frames, right? So for example, if everyone has an Overseer frame, and this is an extreme example, let's just say the developers give everyone an Overseer frame, right? And that's the only frame they're allowed. So everyone gets plus 17 and plus 7. What's your advantage? If you said plus 17, plus 7, you're wrong. Your advantage is 0 because everyone has the exact same frame, right? That's what asymmetric advantage means. It's because people get different frames. And so you then have to compare frames on a net advantage basis, right? So to do that, what I basically did was I rebased the lowest value to 0. So here, Azure Sapphire, plus 12. That's the new 0 for HP, right? Meaning that the Royal Amethyst, when compared with the Sapphire, right? When you compare the two frames, Royal Amethyst has plus 2 on basically the lowest incremental HP that you get from a frame, because we rebased 12 to 0, right? So if you take 12 away from all these HP numbers up top, this is the numbers that you're left with, right? So the Overseer frame is, plus 5. It's basically saying that Azure Sapphire frame is like completely shit, because the only advantage of that frame relative to the other frames is the plus 4 control immunity that you get, right? Then the next most useless frame is Overseer, because it's only going to give you an incremental 5 HP on top of Azure Sapphire, and maybe a bit more HP on Royal Amethyst, right? So that's the way to interpret these numbers. If you just get the Overseer frame and you upgrade it all the way, so the other thing I should mention, these stats you see here, these are for fully upgraded frames. You have to upgrade to like level 9, right? So a fully upgraded frame, comparing it to each other, Overseer just gives you a bit more health. Maverick just gives you just a little smidge more health, no attack advantage. If you're a IDA champion, it gives you a lot more health and a smidge more attack. 1% is nothing. 1% is a rounding error. It's not going to win. It's really the extra health that it gives you. The Black Friday frame, the real advantage of the Black Friday frame is crit, right? This plus 2 HP, plus 1 HP, it's not an advantage. It's a rounding error. The numbers are just too small to make a difference. Where it makes a difference is the plus 9 crit. So the Black Friday frame, if you have those, if you're lucky to get those, that's when if you need crit, put it on, right? And similarly for the Guild War frames, the only real advantage is the additional CEC that the Royal Amethyst gives you, right? That's where the real advantages are. So if you're trying to work out which frame is best, the reality is there is no like perfect frame that has all these stats, right? If you need more health in your lineup, you're going to run an IDA frame, because that's where the advantages are. These IDV frames give you health. If you need more crit in your lineup, you need to run a Black Friday frame, which admittedly not all of you can get, and that's a +9 on a net advantage basis, +9 percentage points compared to everyone else, right? That doesn't have the frame. Then if you need to run CC, you run either the Sapphire or the Amethyst frame, right? Like I said, 2%, 1%, it won't make a difference in the game. It literally won't. It's so small that it's not worth it. So when people are, you know, moaning about not getting the best frames, you got to take things into perspective about what you're actually really truly going to get on a net basis. Anyway, hope you found that thinking useful. This is how I see frames. Like I said, there is no super frame, even though I had hoped secretly the Black Friday frame was going to be a super frame that combined like just everything. But I think it's nice that they spread it out. So then like you basically have to change frames depending on what you're after in your lineup. And I know not many people have focused on this so far. So hope you enjoyed that video. If you like it, there's no point leaving a thumbs up because the YouTube algorithm won't pick it up. I've made this private. But if you're watching this video 3 months down the track, by all means, leave a thumbs up. If you are in my Discord, you want to share this video with your guildmates, I'm happy for you to share it. It's private. Just don't make it public on Reddit. I just don't want people to know about it because it's one of those things that, you know, it's really for the diehard fans. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.